Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
I'd do anything for you, dear. Anything for you mean everything to me. I know that I'd go anywhere for your smile.
When it comes to your active dog's food, the choice is clear. Purina Pro Plan Sport fuels their strength and stamina so they can take on life's most epic adventures. PetSmart, anything for pets.
Well, hello there. Dory and the guys coming up at halftime. We'll show you what's happened throughout the day, but there's been plenty of time on this game behind us. Maybe the music lovers will get this, but who's better than Ezra? He's good.
About as quick as anybody in the league, explosive and fearless.
Gotta box out if you're Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt to stay in this game like you are. I agree with Rod.
Guys,
Like
we'll
that.
see you short.
If I'm not mistaken, I think better than Ezra was playing at the green light last night, but I could be wrong. Vandy and Kentucky tied at 34. There was a long stretch when we should have gone to an under 8 timeout that really extended through 2 media timeouts, and I thought Vandy was getting winded, and then they go on a 7-0 run in less than a minute.
And a lot of that was due to their small ball lineup. It's the first time we've seen it, but without Liam Robbins available, Quentin Malora-Brown logging a lot of minutes early. And so what do? You counter Kentucky with a smaller lineup, Colin Smith at the 5, and now all of a sudden, guess what? Sheboy can't post up as easily because he's got a quicker defender who's denying on the front end, and he's spread out wide on the defensive side. Curious to see how long this advantage keeps working for this smaller Commodore club.
Toppin goes to the ground. Frederick down there with Wallace. And the Cats have it with 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Keep your eye on one in black. He's got to box out here.
Easier said than done, right?
Yeah, he did everything. He didn't even look at the shot. He just tried to push Sheboy out away from the basket. And big Oscar just relentless.
Oscar is not just big, he's also smart, and he plays the angles better than anybody, which has led him to be the nation's best rebounder for back-to-back seasons. He seems to know, like all elite rebounders, exactly where that ball is going to end up.
He's not flying all over the place. He's pretty patient, great footwork, and just kind of keeps moving a little bit and then reacts so well like a Dennis Rodman. He knows where that ball is going to bounce.
Except he's the opposite of Dennis Rodman off.
That's right, yeah.
Here's Frederick. 1:10 to play in the half.
There's Carmen Electra. Oh,
Toppin. And Magnon finds a rebound. The backcourt has been absolutely thrilling for Vandy in this one. Magnon. Wright with the step through.
But if you're Jordan Wright, you like the comfort of knowing you can get to the paint without Oscar Sheboy down there.
Wallace pump fake. Open 3. Studi is down. And they will stop play for player safety after, Colin Smith, after Vandy secured the rebound. And they're going to go look and make sure wasn't anything flagrant about it.
The freshman from Dallas, Texas, Colin Smith, been very aggressive since being inserted into the game. Known more as a three-point shooter. Now, next thing you know, he's got to guard two-time All-American Oscar Sheboy. We've seen Oscar get called for that in the past when he's lost his cool and he's admitted, hey, I got to be more under control in those moments.
And the difficult part of this, Dane, is that you saw the physicality that Colin Smith was using leading up to the elbow. I mean, he was draped all over Shibwe, but that difference is 215 pounds versus 260, and it's something that Shibwe says, I got to deal with this each and every night.
And he plays with his elbows up quite a bit. However, he's got to be aware, too, that when he makes contact above that head and neck area, that certainly makes him vulnerable.
I mean, Colin Smith has him in a bear hug. I just don't know how Oscar's going to avoid in F1 after his elbow connected with Smith's chin.
I agree with you. I'd be surprised if that's not an F1. And in that situation where a call wasn't made, it can only be a flagrant. There's no personals given after the fact. So that's all they're reviewing.
You can't review it and assign a personal. Is this not the second consecutive game that Oscar has picked up in F1, or we assume this is coming? The same thing in the first half against Arkansas.
I got to tell you, though, this is the most Kentucky's offense has looked disrupted the whole game, is when Vanderbilt has gone small.
Terry Oglesby, KB Burdett, and Olandis Poole are officials tonight. Confirmed a flagrant one, and confirmed that Dane's wearing a very nice sport coat tonight. What else?
What else is it's a flagrant one on Oscar Shibwe, 2 shots for Colin Smith and Vanderbilt ball. And so you look at how red hot Kentucky got in this game. The crowd got into it, and they got a big, Vanderbilt had a big deficit, and the Commodores have withstood the rally. And the way this game started, I would not have thought the Commodores would be in a position to have the lead going into half. But here you are with really only 2 seconds between game clock, shot clock. They got a chance to take this into the locker room with a lead.
Colin Smith, a freshman from Dallas out of Compass Prep, was a 4-star recruit. Oscar on the bench now with his first personal.
And I'll say this is not about Kentucky falling asleep at the wheel or playing down to their competition. They're playing up against an NCAA tournament caliber team. Now, I know Joe Lunardi has them out right now, but what I've seen and based on their resume, I think these Commodores are in, and they're proving it right now in this first half.
Vandy's first lead since it was 4-2. Jerry Stackhouse, SEC co-coach of the year, and they're trying to get on the right side of the bubble. Joe Lunardi has them outside as of today, but a win here would do wonders for the resume. And they could turn into a bid thief here in the middle of Champ Week or towards the end of Champ Week. Champ Week gets longer and longer every year. 2-second difference shot in game clock. Here's Magnon. Gets it back. Drives on Livingston. Out to Lewis. Shot clock at 5. Lewis kicks it. Shot clock at 2. And the 3 is good from Jordan Wright. Vandy will take a 5-point lead into the locker room. Largest lead of the half for the Bubblicious Commodores. Alyssa Lang is with Jerry Stackhouse.
Coach, how would you evaluate the first half from your team?
That was a great SEC basketball game right there. I mean, the guys are competing, both sides. It's physical, it's tough. We matched, they came out with a lot of energy. We matched their energy, and we finally got some shot making.
What will be the emphasis at halftime?
Just continue to play with urgency, continue to defend, and we have to rebound the basketball. Try to limit them to 1 shot. We've been doing a good job of making them, on their first shot, but now we got to rebound the ball and take those second shots away.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Tom, back to you.
39-34, Vandy lead, a 12-0 run over the last 2:29 to take the lead into the locker room, Dane.
Well, they took away their first action, but then Casey Wallace got caught helping too far over and loses sight. And how about the freshman Paul Lewis, patient, keeps his head up, finds a skip pass to a shooter, Jordan Wright. Wow, these Commodores are playing some ball, and they are getting contributions from their freshmen, their seniors, and their coach.
Jerry Stackhouse hits the locker room with the lead. Kentucky scoreless over the last 3 minutes. Let's get you up to the studio. Dorian Oka in the game.
Guys, thank you much. Pat Bradley, Ron Slay, Damian Fishback. I'm just gonna opine for a minute. I don't give a you-know-what how the game ends. If we're not looking at an NCAA tournament team wearing black tonight, then I don't know what one looks like. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
no
totally
idea.
Agree. Totally
no
agree.
idea.
Totally agree.
12-0 run to end that half. They
make plays. They fight you every possession down the floor. Fearless. Not afraid. 5 different guys made threes tonight. Spread the floor on you.
They don't waver. They don't waver. They got hit in the face. They stood there, took a step back, regrouped, and came back punching again. Did they not? I told y'all earlier. I was walking around the concourse, and it was a mystery to me. Why Vandy fans kept telling me, hey, man, I think we can go get this one. I'm looking at them like, are you sure? Huh, look at this score right now. I think they sure. What's up, man?
You know, it's funny. This Vanderbilt team has knocked off Tennessee, won at Kentucky, Arkansas, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Pitt. What do those teams have in common?
Yeah, they're tournament teams.
All tournament teams. They've proven that they're a tournament team. Ezra Manjon is one of the reasons why. Yeah. I would say this, though. They have to land this plane, right? And that's not going to be easy to do here on the road. You know why that play was so big between Smith and Oscar Sheedway? Because if it wasn't for the dominance on the glass, Vanderbilt will be out even more. They've been dominant outside of the glass. And so the difference is, if they can keep them off the backboards and win that war, then Vanderbilt's going to win this
11
game.
11 offensive rebounds for Kentucky, and Jacob Toppin's been a killer on that glass.
Yes, he is, and that's what he's been out there to do, be active. It was the same thing in the first game. First game at the halftime, it was 4-point lead Vanderbilt. This game is 5. The difference was Vanderbilt was able to sneak some offensive rebounds in. They finished with 7. What do they do in this second half to counter that?
9-0, second chance points.
That's been big, and that's what Kentucky, because of their size athleticism, knows they can have an advantage.
They've led them at the half in 2 road games. Essentially, this feels like a road game. But look, the Vandy contingent that's here, they have made some noise, and their team has given them reason to do that. Kentucky, though, the super quick start. Antonio Reeves banging in the 3. He's got 2 of those, but it's the Doors up 5 through 20.
Small businesses are what turn a town into a community. They're invested here, and so are we. We're Spectrum Business, your local business internet, TV, phone, and mobile provider. You've seen us around. We live and work here too. So when it comes to keeping small businesses connected, our network is the backbone they can count on. We're committed to this community and the small businesses that keep it going. We're Spectrum Business.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hey, Seth, you getting ready to roll?
Yep, road trip. And now that I'm rolling with Verizon, I get why more people choose it.
Nice.
And I got this incredible iPhone 14 Pro on them.
Oh, love the camera. So you got an amazing network and save money doing it.
That's how I roll. Oh, no.
You like your keys in the car again?
Yeah, I did.
Switch now and get iPhone 14 Pro on us. There's more. You get Apple Watch SE and iPad, all 3 on us. That's a value of up to $1,700. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Get the savings you want on the network you deserve. Verizon.
Get help reaching your goals with JP Morgan Wealth Plan, a new tool in the Chase mobile app. Use it to set and track your goals, big and small, and see how changes you make today could help put them within reach. From your first big move to retiring poolside and the other goals along the way, Wealth Plan can help you get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
What makes this time special? Have you ever seen an entire arena go cold? A nightmare that never rests. The unbelievable is everywhere. Welcome to the playoff push.
Dory, shoot a slave fish. Let's take you through what's happened earlier in the day. How about the 4-5 game quarterfinal? Tennessee and Missouri tied up at 69. Nick Honor for 3.
Backed him down on the screen and then pulled up. Old school game. I love how deep it was.
Then
quick release. Hodge. Nick Honor gets in the paint. Kick out for that. Quick release by Hodge.
And Hodge from way downtown. No good here, but Kobe Brown. How about 24-9 for Kobe?
Sealed the deal right there.
Mizzou beats Tennessee twice. Once in Knoxville, one in Nashville. Boy, if they ever played in Memphis, what might happen? And then Dennis Gates in Missouri. Look at this news. Afterwards, I should say. Dennis Gates rewarded. Contract extension. They add a year to it. They give him about $1.5 million annual raise and then another $100,000 every year.
That's a nice bump. That's a nice bump. Is that what it means when you go to bump?
That's a bump. That's a mountain climb. This might be what it is. They notes in Alabama, the 1 seed, taking on the 9-seeded Bulldogs of Mississippi State. They hope certainly they did enough yesterday to get into the NCAA tournament because, frankly, it wasn't happening today. Brandon Miller was good. State just couldn't generate offense.
Well, we didn't expect them to beat the potential number 1 overall seed, but Alabama played some of their best basketball.
Yes, they did.
So Alabama cruises. It will be Alabama, Missouri in the first semifinal on Saturday. How about Buzz Williams and A&M taking on Arkansas? 13-point Arkansas halftime lead after the Jordan Walsh bank 3 at the end of the half.
They didn't make one after that shot.
No, you're exactly right.
Make one
Did they not
that.
make one?
No, sir.
I knew they were 0 for 6 at one point. Dexter Dennis.
Yeah, buddy.
And then Boots.
Oh! Icing on the cake.
You better believe it. A&M on to the semifinals. Well, they will get the winner of this very game. Kentucky and Vanderbilt, which the Doors currently lead 39-34. All right, what each team needs to do to slam the door in the second half. We're going to take a look at it. How about Paul Lewis for his jersey number? Got it. Anchor down in the Music City at halftime.
When is a basketball more than a basketball? When it connects a wide-eyed kid to life-changing coaches, mentors, and medical care. Becomes a passport to see the world and an opportunity to build a name into a brand. Helps a player with potential turn a scholarship into a college degree. And start life after basketball debt-free. For college athletes, a basketball just means more.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
Mom, can we get a puppy, Mom? Please? Girls, pets are a big expense.
Maybe try switching your car insurance to Progressive. You could save hundreds.
Thanks, TV Dad. We'll think about it, okay?
Look what I found.
Oh, puppy!
Oh, no. I wish TV Dad was always in charge.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average.
I'm light as a feather, yeah, baby, I float. It's hard to look at my resume and not find a reason to toast. I'm counting my blessings, we ain't stressing, just look at this blood.
It's Saturday primetime. Bucks Warriors on ABC.
What makes this time special? Have you ever seen an entire arena go cold? A nightmare that never rests. The unbelievable is everywhere. Welcome to the playoff push.
This Sunday, it's the event of the year, the Oscars on ABC, with performances by Rihanna,
David Byrne, Stephanie Shu and Son Lux, Lenny Kravitz, Diane Warren with Sophia Carson, Raul Suppligan, Caleb Oliva, and more, with awards for the greatest dream makers of the year.
The Oscars. And the Oscar goes to...
Jimmy Kimmel hosts The Oscars, live Sunday on ABC.
Not what we thought we'd see necessarily at halftime, but there is. You got one guy up there. It is still 20 minutes of basketball.
That an official
and a
SEC tournament towel he's using there.
It might very well be.
Fighting down on it like Tart.
Has come back on the floor. Kentucky will certainly come on momentarily, and you'll hear the ovation behind us. But let's talk about this, Fish. You said Vandy needs to land the plane. How do they land it?
Well, they got to control the boards, right? The backboards. You talk about being 9-0 and second chance points. You know, Smith and Sheedway were a prime example of that. He was trying to keep Sheedway off of the board, and he ended up getting a flagrant foul because of that. Second of all, they got to make shots, right? They've done that here in the first half. Jordan Wright, Lawrence, but especially Ezra Manjon. And then last but not least, they can't allow these fans from Kentucky to affect them. They are so impactful and so deep here tonight.
It's about to get loud, Slim.
I'm watching this game, and I want to see some more presence inside when it comes to boxing out. My brother played 11 years in the NFL, Ramon Foster, for the Steelers, and I know what hands to the face look like to an offensive lineman. That's a 15-yard penalty any way you want to cut it. You can't bring that out here on the court.
The Cats are in trouble if they can't keep Manjon, Tyron Lawrence, and Jordan Wright from getting where they want to go, because there's a lot of wide-open Vanderbilt players I see on that basketball court.
There's a lot of wind that's been knocked out of this fan base in here. It wasn't nearly as loud when they came on as I thought it might be. Vandy has helped take them out, but Kentucky, we know their guys can get them right back in. The second half coming up next. Vanderbilt up 39-34.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR, 0 payments for 90 days, and $500 bonus cash on select vehicles. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. And we know 80% of couples sleep too hot or too cold. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate 360 Smart Bed. The only smart bed in the world that actively cools, warms, and effortlessly responds to both of you. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Proven quality sleep, only from Sleep Number.
At Spectrum News, we're committed to our communities, delivering stories that inspire and news that matters. And now, Spectrum Internet-only customers, you can watch Spectrum News 1 on your TV, connecting you to your community 24/7. Spectrum News, now streaming.
This place that I call home. I want to explain it to her.
Making just one connection during recovery from mental and substance use disorders puts the strength of family and community behind you. We're all connected. Join the Voices for Recovery. Strengthen families and communities.
For confidential information on mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Downtown Nashville, Tennessee, crawling with folks in blue, but their Cats trail Vandy 39-34 as we get ready to start the second half and an emotional game here with Vandy on the cut line for the NCAA tournament. Kentucky trying to improve its seeding and win another SEC tournament championship. Welcome back. Tom Hart alongside Dave Bradshaw. Vandy's guards have scored 37 of their 39 points. The perimeter play has been the difference in this first half.
No question about it. This is a Vanderbilt team that's better from 3 than 2, and you can't let them beat you from the 3-point line. But that's exactly what the Commodores did. According to KenPom, they get 35% of their points from 3, which is 60th best in the nation. In the first half, over half of their points came from beyond the arc with 7 3-balls. A lot of them deep, contested shots. But if you're Kentucky, you say, hey, you know what? They're making them. We got to get out there sooner, quicker, make them put it on the deck, run them off that 3-point line, and dare Vanderbilt to beat you from 2. If not, it could be an upset here for the Commodores.
56% from the floor for Vandy and 7 of 15 from deep, even though they've been out-rebounded 22-9. Alyssa Lang had a chance to chat with John Calipari. Langer, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Coach Cal basically echoed what Dane just said. He said we got to do a better job defending the 3 and protecting the rim. He said when Vanderbilt is driving, we're letting them drive too easily. He said we've got 20 minutes left. I told my guys plenty of time to fight. First half certainly was a battle, guys.
That was the message he started the day with when Kentucky practiced at Belmont University this morning as Lawrence cuts down the lane for a bucket. He said, you've got to be desperate. You got to fight like hell. It's a refuse to lose type of moment. And now Vanderbilt has opened up its largest lead of the game.
And no mental lapses too, right? And Laura Brown gets the ball in the post. He's not really a threat to score. You stare at him as if you got to help. That's Reeves getting back cut on that one.
Laura Brown denying Sheboy inside. Good cut by Livingston. And that's the first bucket for Chris Livingston, the freshman out of Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, they got to get him going. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster year, but he can really impose his will, especially on the glass.
This Vanderbilt backcourt playing with so much confidence. Magnon rolls one home.
And that's a shot he can't make because they set the ball screen so deep because nobody's going to go out there and play him. So they say, fine, we'll just set our ball screen 15 feet and in.
Sheboy going to work, kicks it out. An air ball from Cason Wallace. I don't think John Calipari is a fan of the way they're not calling the post defense by Vandy, saying Sheboy's continuing to get shoved. Another bucket from Magnon. Kentucky has to use a timeout. Cal's going to use this timeout to talk to the guys in stripes.
To Alyssa's point with her conversation with them, hey, they got to defend the 3, but they also got to defend the easy ones at the rim. Not so much here in this opener.
All right, everybody, it's 2 of any of these for just $6.
Can you get a Dave single with a 10-piece nug?
Yeah.
How about 2 Dave singles for $6? And that's class.
Sit down, Toby.
Sorry.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
I'm your glitchy Wi-Fi, which means your smart home isn't so smart.
Sprinkler on.
And now I'm sending mixed signals to your garage. But if you haven't bundled your home with auto, unpacking this isn't going to be too much fun. So get Allstate. Yeah, it's so sad. It's not.
Downtown Nashville, Tennessee, where Vanderbilt is looking for a monster upset and something to bolster their postseason resume. Missouri came from behind to knock off Tennessee. Kobe Brown was magnificent. What incredible growth he's been through during his time on campus.
Yeah, so happy for a kid like that to be able to enjoy some team success, have a postseason opportunity, and he has just been a mismatch nightmare. Good player, decent team. Wondered, would he take the next step this season? All of a sudden, he's become a great player, great team. I got to tell you, that game against Tennessee, I still think Tennessee with a 3 seed, they can advance to the Sweet 16. I don't know that they're going to play a better team in the first round, maybe not second round, than what they saw from the Missouri Tigers.
I hear you, but my counter is, what is your concern of a Tennessee squad without Zakai Zeigler?
Oh, of course they miss his ball handling. They have to subsidize that a little bit. That was just a really tough matchup against Missouri. Their ceiling certainly is not as high without their quarterback and heart and soul. The good news for Tennessee is their body of work is so good they'll get a good seed. However, if they do get that 3 seed, the way they've struggled a little bit, there's going to be a 14 saying, this is who we want. See if their defense can travel in the NCAA tournament.
Let's see if the post defense for Vandy is officiated any differently going forward. Remember, Oscar Tshiebwe picks up a flagrant 1 for an elbow to Colin Smith. Payson Wallace pull up from the free throw line.
Nice job just pulling up over the smaller defender. Nice high release.
Wright can't get around Toppin. Smith back out to Wright. And with 3 short, Toppin will try to push it for the Cats. Baseline drive and a foul charge to Jordan Wright.
You want to get out and run if you're Kentucky, and Magnon does a good job of forcing Reeves off that corner 3, but credit Reeves for going hard at that rim, getting himself to the stripe.
Reeves, the Chicago kid. Have had some Chicago talent make its way to the Bluegrass, leave an impact. Maybe Anthony Davis rings a bell, or Tyler Ulis on the Kentucky bench right now. The student assistant for John Calipari. Right next to Chin Coleman.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorites there. That guy never made the wrong decision. He's such an elite point guard and decision maker.
Colin Smith pulls down the rebound. Reeves struggling from the free throw line. Magnon with the shake and the finish.
And that is something special there. He just gets around that ball screen, a little bit of a
and he steals it. Magnon jumped Wallace, who's sending in the play call, but he blew the layup.
Did he forget about the backboard?
Toppin to Tshiebwe. It will stay with Kentucky.
Wow. Magnon makes so many tough twos in the lane, and then the easiest bunny he'll have all game. Credit him for the theft here. Couldn't tell if he tried to use the glass or not, but either way, bad angle.
Reeves goes back iron, and it's ripped away by Colin Smith. This Vandy team is showing incredible fight. Magnon crosses Toppin and then gets the whistle. He is elite quicks.
Especially with this bigger lineup with Quentin Milora-Brown at the 5. He's a great screen setter. And so that allows Magnon to really operate and weave through the defense off that ball screen action. Vanderbilt having a lot of success there. Kentucky unable to stay in front of 5.
C.J. Frederick back on the floor. He's playing with a custom rib protector protecting his left side, molded plastic, and he commits a foul. You can kind of see the bulge underneath Frederick's jersey. Walking off the floor a couple of days ago, he knocked on it. He said it's harder than a doorknob. It took him about a week to get it made. It's molded to the side of his ribs and it fits in his sleeve, and it's all he can do to be on the floor. As I mentioned earlier, he has trouble breathing. The ribs hurt so bad.
Yeah, but look at him in there fighting, busting through screens, boxing out. He checked about 3 different players on that possession.
Livingston lost it going across the in line. Here's Wright. Melora Brown with the tip. First bucket of the night for the Vandy Big. Leads now 11. Liam Robbins relegated to cheerleader role. Reeves takes it hard.
Nice back cut by Reeves. Magnon was not going to let him get the ball on the perimeter. Nice counter.
Wright fires. Wow! Largest lead of the night for Vandy. Jordan Wright was the hero at Rupp. And a well-timed three. What an answer! Livingston dropped the beats on him. Wright again. And Livingston went hard to the floor.
About the action in this game, the back and forth, the highlight plays. It's Vanderbilt 3s versus Kentucky's 2s. And how about that deep one? When you dunk on a big man, a 7-footer, you say, I got me a footer. Not quite 7 feet, but 6'10". Still pretty impressive. Big time play by Livingston.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
Oh, yes, it's confirmed. He's backing up and heading to Brooklyn next season.
Wait, what?
Yes, there's a new beast in the East, folks. I'm still in shock.
Nice.
Wow, we didn't see that one coming.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
It's hard to overstate exactly how much is on the line for Jerry Stackhouse and Vanderbilt. As of now, they're on the outside looking in, but if you want to compare their resume to other teams, they come out favorably.
No question about it. They beat Pitt in the head-to-head here in Nashville. Pitt has a weaker strength of schedule. Then you look at Rutgers. They've got the same amount of quad 3 and 4 losses as Vanderbilt does. And then you move on to a team like Providence, who have a pretty good quad 1 and 2 record, but not as good as Vanderbilt, who is 9 and 10 against quad 1 and 2 teams. Extremely impressive. And then how about Utah State? That's a weaker strength of schedule. No games against the top 10 net teams. And look, non-conference, you can manipulate the schedule a little bit. Conference, you can't hide. And Vanderbilt had an extremely tough conference schedule because it's unbalanced. They go 11 and 7. But it's even more impressive when you consider they had to play Tennessee twice, Kentucky twice, Alabama twice. They have earned an NCAA tournament bid.
Meanwhile, other tournament teams, Iona knocked off Niagara 71-59 with rumors swirling that Pitino could be the next head coach at St. John's. Texas Tech has also shown interest in him, according to reports. And Georgetown is open.
I'll go back to if you say, well, tell me the bad about Vanderbilt. They've got a quad 4 loss against Grambling. You say, come on, Grambling. But guess what? Grambling's 173 in the net. That's a quad 4 loss, but it isn't bottom of the NCAA. There's worse quad 4 losses out there.
Good defense by Shibwe over Colin Smith. And Reeves is able to get it in. The bottom line is where Vandy stands now versus the impact that a win like this would have on their program, but catapults them right into the tournament.
Here's that small ball lineup that was so effective towards the end of the first half.
They went on a 7-0 run. Shibwe with the steal on Magnon and a finger roll. Cats on a roll. Shibwe into double figures. Lawrence fouled.
Shibwe does a nice job of denying reversal. Great anticipation skills. Prior to that, it was Antonio Reeves. This kid's just a bucket. He knows how to score, man. And then Shibwe, there's not too many big men that can go coast to coast, under control, be fast but not in a hurry and lay it up with such grace as the big man there.
First consensus National Player of the Year to return to the game since 2008. It's Tyron Lawrence at the free throw line. Alyssa, what'd you get out of the Kentucky huddle?
Yeah, Coach Cal challenging his guys to not worry about what could happen or what might happen next, but to get in there and make a play. And it looks like they've responded with those last 2 buckets there. He also said, guys, I don't want to see you jumping up for loose balls with just one hand. Get 2 hands on that thing.
Lawrence knocks them both down. He's got 11 points. Cal wasn't really worried on his radio show early this week about watching film. He's like, we don't even know who we're going to play. Watch Little House on the Prairie. They're trying to deliver a good night John Boy here. Reeves looking for Livingston. He's got a mismatch. Magnon got a tip on it. And then Toppin goes to the floor. Toppin holding his left ankle. Lawrence had to go off the clock on the other end, and Jacob Toppin is going to stay in this game. Man, that looked pretty bad at the other end.
Tough break for Kentucky on the slip there. But Vanderbilt frustrated, thinking Lawrence didn't lose that ball on his own. They thought at worst they were going to have a baseline out of bounds play under their own basket.
Reeves with the long 2.
If you're guarding that ball screen action, Studi, you got to step up. That's a shooter. He played him like he was a non-shooter. That's one of the best in the game.
Toppin whistle for the foul. That's his first. Reeves had 37 last time out. He's got 17 tonight.
Well, you either switch this, or if your Thomas gets clipped, you got to get up there sooner. You're playing off him like you just need to contest so he doesn't see a big rim. 12 and White's as confident of an offensive scorer as anybody in the SEC.
Magnon on Wallace. Out to Lawrence. Contested 3. Rattles home.
How about the shoulder fake shimmy as if he was going to drive and then raises up from deep.
Meanwhile, the Cats have heated up on this end. They've made 5. All of their last 5, I should say. Shibwe on the offensive glass, slams it home.
They have been punishing Vanderbilt all night. They are 3rd best in the country at getting 38% of the misses is Kentucky, and they have taken advantage.
Plus 14 on the glass overall. Lawrence into the lane. Another one for Vandy.
And he's got a bag on him that you got to check in. That thing can't fit an overhead.
16 for Tyron Lawrence. And they'll get Miles Studi for his first personal.
How about Lawrence with the little shimmy there and gets Toppin to retreat just a little bit and raises up. And Shibwe, Thomas does all he can, but 160 pounds trying to box out Oscar Shibwe. Good luck. And then Lawrence, he can go left, he can go right, he can go from 3, you name it. He wasn't named to the All-SEC team, but if you ask coaches around this league who's been playing some of the best ball over the past month, Tyron Lawrence is one of the best guards this late in the season.
Shibwe guarded by Studi at 6'7". Here's the ball screen. Out to Livingston. Oscar's got another miss, and they're going to get Thomas for the foul on Sheboy. That'll send us to a break. Jerry Stackhouse is calm on the outside, but this is a Vandy team that needs this win like they need their next breath.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
Hey, Seth. You getting ready to roll?
Yep, road trip. And now that I'm rolling with Verizon, I get why more people choose it.
Nice.
And I got this incredible iPhone 14 Pro on them.
Oh, love the camera. So you got an amazing network and save money doing it.
That's how I roll. Oh, no.
You like your keys in the car again?
Yeah, I did.
Switch now and get iPhone 14 Pro on us. There's more. You get Apple Watch SE and iPad, all three on us. That's a value of up to $1,700. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Get the savings you want on the network you deserve. Verizon.
This is what you play for. This is what you dream of. 2 words. March Madness.
Women's Tournament Tips Wednesday. Grab your phone, scan this QR code, and join ESPN's Tournament Challenge. Download the app. It's the #1 bracket game. Texted with Carolyn Peck earlier about the seeding in the women's side. Your #1 seeds would be South Carolina, Indiana, Virginia Tech, Stanford. I think if you want to take a flyer on the first #2 seed, Iowa and Caitlin Clark, that might be a popular play in the Tournament Challenge.
Well, you've got a good source in Carolyn Peck. Nobody knows it better than she does. Fun to have a post-game drink with, too.
Yeah, not afraid. Vandy up by 9. What a turnaround for this Vandy team, winning 9 of its previous 10 after a January 31st loss to Alabama. It wasn't just any loss. Alabama absolutely embarrassed some teams this season, and they're going to be the #1 overall seed in the tournament for a good reason. They beat Jerry Stackhouse's team by 57. So how did they respond? Did they crawl in the hole? Did they mail it in the rest of the season? No. They came out and they played their best basketball of the year.
That was not Vanderbilt basketball against Alabama.
Toppin with the lob push.
And they have responded. They've faced their own adversity. They've been counted out, but there's a bunch of underdogs here that feel like they might be playing at Rupp for the 2nd time in a week. But they're trying to remind the Kentucky Wildcats this is still their city.
Toppin's got 12 and 10, 8 double-double. Oscar rips down the rebound, and then they get the whistle on the back, and you're starting to see that the officials are more aware of the contact on Sheboy.
Yeah, but a silly foul there. There's no way you're going to be able to muscle that ball away from Sheboy. Once he's got 2 paws on it, you can forget about it. Just go get back on defense. But Stute now playing the 5 for Vanderbilt. So they're going to have to front the post and have some backside help.
Wallace down the lane. Stute for 3.
He hadn't liked this arena, has he? Looks good coming out of his hand.
Well, it's 1 for 11 last night and 1 of 8 from deep. Another Vandy steal. Another failure to convert, though. Shot clock at 3. Lawrence. Sheboy's got 8 boards. Toppin directing traffic. Wallace looking for the assist. It won't come. Sheboy with 3 doors on him. Oh, man, halfway down for Reeves.
They did everything right on that possession, did Kentucky. Oscar Sheboy just a man amongst boys down low. Great find on the kick out. Couldn't get it to drop.
Kentucky just 4 of 16 from 3. Thomas and Lewis catch a breather.
The freshman Lewis, he's really played well in this tournament. Guy that came into the game an afterthought, or excuse me, conference tournament, averaged just 3 points a game. Played extremely well last night. 8 clutch ones here. Contributions from everybody.
Snooty. And Melora Brown's tip kept it alive.
Great play call to get an open 3.
Wallace went down. Right into Sheboy.
How about that for a tough 2? Take the contact, hang in the air, and finish with the offhand.
And the little jumper is just not going for the Cats. They haven't scored in the last 2+ minutes.
So they got to stay in front of this guy.
Magnon started his career at UC Davis. Great academic reputation there. He said, I knew when I was going to transfer, I had to go somewhere that also had a good academic standing. Melora Brown with the shake and draws the foul. And Sheboy, who insists he was straight up. It is the 3rd on Oscar Sheboy.
Melora Brown, maybe the most valuable 3.4 rebound guy in the league. Just does all the little things. This time makes the defense respect his post game. You want to try to defend that one without fouling because that's just not his strength. He's a screener, a hustler, high IQ guy. But you want to play him one-on-one in the post, make him prove he can make that.
Melora Brown started his college career at Rice. The scouting report on him is pretty simple. He gives you every ounce of what he has. In grad school now, mechanical engineering degree, 2 for 2 from the line. 11-point Vandy lead.
Yeah, that only 3-pointer on the season for Melora Brown was at the halftime buzzer beater at Rupp Arena.
It's the only one he's made in his college career. 5 years deep. Reeves. Rim has just not been kind to Kentucky tonight. Toppin rises, drops it down.
He's always had that, and just a 1-2 dribble pull up. He is so comfortable with that mid-range shot.
Magnon dishes to Melora Brown, and Wallace takes it away. It's off of Vandy.
Magnon did the hard part of penetrating that defense with everybody sucked in. I think that's when you want to look out for the kick out 3 as opposed to the interior pass in traffic. It's where Kentucky, they kind of get it in bounds to run a play as opposed to run a play. They like to lob it to Toppin and then run Frederick off some down screens and Reeves.
Reeves and Sheboy on the same side. Oscar massages it in. He's got 14.
It's been a tough 14 though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had to work for every single one of them, and that's all you can ask for if you're Jerry Stackhouse.
Another double-double, his 47th in his career. Lawrence almost lost it, bobbles it, keeps it, fades. Toppin all the way down, and they got tied up by Lawrence. He'll be at the free throw line when we return to Bridgestone Arena. Big, bad Oscar Tshiebwe trying to flex his muscles on the doors tonight.
Yeah, you know whose pain it is. It's Oscar Tshiebwe. Through the contact there. He came back for one reason and one reason only, try to win a national championship. They got to get through the doors first.
Agent, you've got a graze problem. L'Oreal Men Expert One Twist hair color. To activate, twist, shake, apply, and rinse.
Never seen a man dye his hair before?
5 minutes. Natural looking results. L'Oreal Men Expert. Fastest growing men's color brand in America.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
Get help reaching your goals with JP Morgan Wealth Plan, a new tool in the Chase mobile app. Use it to set and track your goals, big and small, and see how changes you make today could help put them within reach. From your first big move to retiring poolside and the other goals along the way, Wealth Plan can help you get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
So great to be back in Nashville Music City, home to the SEC tournament for the 11th time. Last time we were here, we got interrupted. So great to finish it. We got semifinals coming tomorrow. Alabama and Mizzou to start. A&M gets the winner of this one and a champion crowned on Sunday. How about this? Last two games against Vandy. Tshiebwe, 7 points behind his total last time. Reeves better, Toppin better. Kind of what you were talking about in terms of supporting cast needing to power Kentucky, because Oscar had 21 and 20 and they lost.
Yeah, they've had some balance there, and I think they've gotten what they want in terms of that balance. And Vanderbilt would have liked to have had Reeves and Toppin a little more in check tonight, but it's really been on the other end of the court where the Commodores have been good from three, but they've been really good from two as well. They've been able to get their shots at the rim off the dribble penetration, whereas Kentucky's done it more so off the offensive rebounds and post-ups to Tshiebwe.
Kentucky led this game by 10, 7 minutes into it. John Calipari, since he's been at Kentucky, has won 96% of his games with a 10-point lead. That's 328 wins against just 13 losses. Big Blue Nation on its feet. Vanderbilt's cold shooting, parlayed with a 6-0 Kentucky run, has made it a 5-point game, and now Wallace is steal. Reeves ahead. He's got Livingston. Slipped and then gets fouled. And it's not the first time we've seen players lose their footing on this floor throughout this tournament.
Glad to see Reeves okay there, because he was certainly caught off guard as he tried to explode in the air. Great anticipation in hands by Wallace. Glad to see him okay. On the other end, Magnon, we talked about a 5-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in league play. Clearly the best in the conference, but it's been 3 assists, 5 turnovers. So as good as he's been scoring the ball, he's got to take better care of it down the stretch here for the Commodores.
Yeah, ball's been in his hands a lot tonight, hasn't it? Here's Reeves, 81% on the season. I mentioned he's a Chicago native, but he went out to Phoenix to play high school ball for a year. Played for the great Mike Bibby at Shadow Mountain High School in Phoenix. He said what I loved about it, ran it like a pro team. There was trust in what we did, but he was also demanding. Back to Chicago for his senior year at Simeon Academy before going to Illinois State. He's made it a 3-point game. It's an 8-0 run. Bridgestone is bubbling now. Bubble teams keeping a watchful eye on this Vandy squad. Entry denied by Shibwe, but Wright still got it. Wright goes down. Magnon saves it in midcourt. Great balance at the shot clock buzzer. Buries it! Ezra Magnon danced his way at midcourt, then identified the clock, and they are in disbelief.
Vanderbilt has saved their season off of clutch plays at the buzzer. This one's certainly not in game, but how important is this? Tiptoes that line. Terrific balance. The awareness, sees shot clock. Up, rise. That thing definitely got off before clock hit 0.
They can review it, and they'll make sure it was good. And it is.
It's now 30 of Vanderbilt's 66 points from deep. And the unusual suspect right there has 2 of them himself.
Talk about those bubble teams. Teams like Utah State and Arizona State. Both in the last 4 in, taking the floor later tonight. Clemson trailing Virginia big in Greensboro. Penn State, one of the last 4 byes, knocked off Northwestern in overtime in the Big Ten tournament. Reeves waits for Shibwe. Into Melora Brown. And it's taken away by Jordan Wright.
When you think about Melora Brown, he has not had a double team, a dig all night. He has been left on an island with Shibwe and made it tough on the All-American.
Magnon is turning into one of the most dynamic players in the league right before our very eyes. 10th straight start tonight. And he has paced this Vandy team on both ends. Here's Wright. An air ball, and Wallace pulls it down. Cats down by 6.
Wallace does not look full speed to me.
Reeves does, but that's off.
We saw Wallace with that back brace in warm-ups after halftime. Just kicking the ball ahead a little bit more than him pushing it off the bounce.
Looked like they got a whistle, indeed, on Quentin Melora Brown on the rebound. The problem for John Calipari is that he's very limited in his options behind Wallace. Shibwe will be shooting a 1-and-1 here. Here's a look at the foul. And they're going to, I guess it was a hook on Melora Brown. I want to go look at it and see if it wasn't a hook and a hold that could be upgraded to a flagrant. Well, the hardest jobs, these 3 guys in stripes, is to officiate the game that's been played primarily on the perimeter and try to judge the wrestling match that's going on the interior.
I don't see that qualifying as an F1. It's supposed to be a deceitful act to try to trick the referee into thinking you're the one being held. That rule was put in a few years back when Purdue's Isaac Haas actually got a fractured elbow. But
did that angle change your mind at all? It was the right arm of Melora Brown.
I mean, he wrapped it. I just didn't see him clinch and hold down and really hook it as much.
I think they're going to give him a hook and hold because they're signifying 2 free throws instead of 1-and-1. Landis Poole will give you an explanation here in a moment. Maybe Burdett explains it Calipari and the Kentucky staff. This could be a huge play in the game. Remember, one of Vandy's runs in the first half came after the flagrant one charge to Oscar Tshiebwe, and now down 6 here, and the flagrant one charge to Quentin Milora-Brown on a hook and a hold.
Could be a turn of events there, because that's what they called was the hook and hold. So 2 free throws for Tshiebwe, and they will get the ball under their own basket.
Oscar's 73% free throw shooter on the season.
Seeing the ghost screen action. A little bit more ghost tap there from Oscar Tshiebwe to the invisible teammates.
(16 for Tshiebwe). 4-point game. Winner of this one gets Texas A&M in the second semifinal tomorrow.
You get a bucket here, and this crowd is going to take over this place.
Like a shirtless dude singing Wagon Wheel at Tootsie's. Here's Toppin. $10 on the clock. Reeves for 3. Knocked away by Livingston, and Vandy secures the rebound.
Yeah, that was a really important stop to not allow that hook and hold to be worse than what it would have been just a trip to the free throw line. Can they keep Vanderbilt's guards out of the paint?
Lawrence is just running circles in there. Under 5 to play. Magnon runs into Wallace, and a blocking foul on Cason Wallace. Second on Wallace, and to your point, he is truly limited with that left leg injury. He's less than 100%.
You think back a year ago with this Kentucky team, they were banged up. Ty Washington, Galen Grady's feet, and you just hate to see this. You want to win the game in the SEC tournament, and it's important, but you need this guy as healthy as possible for the NCAA tournament.
C.J. Frederick will take Wallace's place with 4:54 to go.
As a reminder, they did win on the road at Bud Walton Arena, essentially with no natural point guard. Wheeler already out. I'd be really surprised if Wallace comes back in.
And they used Adu Thiero, but has only played 1 minute tonight. Big buckets for Ezra Magnon. He's got a game-high 20 points. One of his best performances in a Vanderbilt uniform.
He is denying Reeves the ball. He is covering 12 in white. Anybody but Reeves.
Toppin off the glass.
Great take by Toppin. If they're going to make you play 4-on-4, you got to go to work and have another scorer. Toppin provides it.
They'll get Reeves for the foul, chasing Magnon around the screen. 3rd on Reeves.
As Magnon was denying Reeves the ball, Toppin's going to take this off the bounce. Again, has gotten so much more aggressive of getting to the rim. He went from somebody in the offseason you thought could be a 3-level scorer to a little bit of no-level scorer, up and down season, but has reasserted himself and become a reliable guy at the rim from mid-range and from 3.
8 of 10 shooting from Magnon. He is perfect from the free throw line and perfect from deep. And he stays perfect. We approach the 4-minute mark. Vandy leading by 6. Other bubble teams like Arizona State and Utah State will play late tonight. Might be watching in the locker room of the hotel. Livingston, no. And it's going to stay with Kentucky. 3:56 remaining. We're coming down to the wire in a final quarterfinal of the day in Nashville.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission free. But don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat. Sparks your imagination and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric. They electrify you.
To you, it may just be an elevator.
Here goes nothing.
But for a young homeowner becoming their parents, it's a learning opportunity.
Come on in. The more the merrier. Paris, huh? Bonjour. We got any out-of-towners in the elevator?
Tom, it is not easy.
10th floor, huh? Must be a heck of a view.
Okay, see how everyone else is facing this way?
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, that was terrible. Okay, let's hang back. We're going to try that again.
To Kentucky on January 24th. Jerry Stackhouse said probably disappointed as have ever been.